Hello there and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Rob. I'm an English language teacher with the Balkan School of Languages. We're a language school based in the French-speaking part of Switzerland, and this channel is dedicated to helping you improve your English language skills. Today we're coming back to one of my favourite topics, and this is the topic of false friends. So as I mentioned, we're based in the French-speaking part of Switzerland, so most of our students are French native speakers, and false friends is a big topic between English and French. You have lots of good or true friends, which are words which look the same and have the same meaning in both languages. That's great. But on the other hand, you also have some words which look and sound the same but have different meanings in the two languages. So these are easy mistakes to make. This is part 3 in the series of false friends. If you're looking for part 1 and part 2, you can start with those videos. You can find those by following this link up here. So we've got 3 false friends for you today. So these are the words sympathetic, to cry, and furniture. So for this video, we'll follow the same format as the previous video on false friends. I'll give you an example of how the word is often incorrectly used by my students, and then I'll give you the definitions, the correct definitions, and show you how you can correctly use these words. So without further ado, let's go. So first up is the word sympathetic. So a common mistake that my students would make with this word is they would say something like, "Oh, I met your wife last week. She was very sympathetic." Now this is incorrect because in English the word sympathetic means compatissant in French. And in French, when you want to say the word sympathique or sympa, in English you would just say the word nice. So it's really not the same context, as you can see if you're a French speaker. So in the original example, what you should say is, "I met your wife last week. She was very nice." Because if you say sympathetic, it means maybe she had a problem and she understood and she was compassionate, or she had empathy about this problem. But if you just met her last week, it's a bit strange to say that. There's some context missing. So you see why it doesn't make sense. So you would use the word sympathetic in English in an example such as, "My boss was very sympathetic about my personal problems." So you can see here we use this word when there's a problem and somebody is compassionate or they have empathy about your situation. So be careful. Number 2 on the list is the verb to cry. So a mistake that somebody could make with this is they might say, "My boss was crying in the meeting because of the bad results." Now, it's not grammatically wrong. You could say this. But the verb to cry in English means pleurer in French. So maybe your boss is very, very committed to his job, very emotional, and he's crying in the meeting. He or she is crying in the meeting because of this. But it's unlikely. It's improbable. So what you probably wanted to say is the word crier in French, which in English actually means to shout. We have different words for this in English. You could say to shout, or you could say to scream, or you could say to yell. We have different options, but for me, I'll probably say shout in this context. So what you wanted to say is, "My boss was shouting in the meeting because of the bad results." And you could use the verb to cry in an example such as, "I cried so much when I watched that film. It was so sad." And number 3 for today is the word furniture. So a typical mistake somebody might make would be, "We need to order more office furniture, like pens and paper." So this doesn't make sense because in English the word furniture in French is the word meuble. So it's things like tables, sofas, chairs, not pens and paper. What you want is, in French you say the word fourniture. In English it's the word supplies. So in the original example you want to say, "We need more office supplies, like pens and paper." So the word supplies, maybe you know the word supplier, fournisseur. in French. So it comes from this. It's logical when you make this connection. But the word furniture in English, as I said, it's meuble. So you would use this an example such as IKEA is a big furniture shop. Something like this. So there we go, another one for you on false friends. As I said, don't forget to check out part 1 and part 2 on this. If you enjoyed the content, please consider liking the video and sharing with family and friends. You can subscribe to the channel for more content in the future too. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video, and until next time, take care.